Hello, welcome to Asia Business Report. I'm Sharanjeet Lail. Now, oil prices have slipped this morning, dragged down by ongoing weakness in global stock markets and signs of rising global supplies. You can see they're down ever so slightly, but that's even despite there being just days before U.S. sanctions on Iranian oil come into effect. Some of Iran's biggest crude customers are, of course, in this region. They include the likes of India and China, as well as Turkey, and they are feeling the heat and resisting Washington's calls to end buying Iranian oil outright. They say there are not sufficient supplies worldwide to replace the oil they buy from Tehran. Well, John Smith served for 11 years as a top official in the U.S. Treasury Department's office. He explained why America is taking such an aggressive approach in imposing these sanctions.
From the very beginning, President Trump has said he does not like the Iran deal. He thought it was a bad deal because it did not include ballistic missiles, it had time limitations, and he believes that the Iranians continue to foment discord around the region. So he's hoping to end that.
And we know that most of the oil shipments from Iran come to Asian nations, the likes of India, China. They're incredibly reliant on these oil supplies. So can they stop buying it because of these sanctions? I mean, it's going to drive costs up for them massively.
So I think the United States would say that they've done it before. They did it before in the ramp up on Iran sanctions. And I think the United States is saying that other countries like Saudi Arabia are willing to step in.
And tell us a little bit about the impact to financial institutions and companies as well, not just here in Asia, but globally, if they are indeed engaging in business with Iran or, trading with them. What happens?
It's a tremendous impact because you have the weight of the United States government bearing down on them, threatening them if they continue to deal with Iran, they will be targeted by the United States.
And in what sense? I mean, how damaging could this kind of targeting be?
A targeting by the United States means being cut off from the U.S. dollar, being cut off from the U.S. economy, being cut off from every goods or services that you get from the U.S. It could be extraordinarily damaging. Right. For a financial institution, it's a death knell.
Yeah. So the timing of the sanctions is also quite intriguing. They come into play next Tuesday, literally a day before the U.S. midterm elections begin. So does that suggest something?
I don't think it suggests anything with respect to Iranian sanctions. It's really going to have an impact on Russia's sanctions, another topic of interest around the world.
Yeah, but in terms of markets, it's unlikely to destabilize oil markets particularly?
I think markets have been playing this in already. They've understood these impacts for a while, but it will depend on how tough the U.S. is on November 5th. Are they going to grant any waivers, or are they going to say no to everyone?
And that was John Smith speaking to me earlier.